Good morning and welcome to my daily inspirations, my reading of John's Gospel in the version of the New English Bible. Today I will read John chapter 5, the whole chapter which contains one of these long speeches in John's Gospel. So let's just jump into the text of John 5. Later on, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now at the sheep pool in Jerusalem there is a place with 5 colonnades. Its name, in the language of the Jews, is Bethesda. In these colonnades there lay a crowd of sick people, blind, lame, and paralyzed. Among them was a man who had been crippled for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and was aware that he had been ill a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to recover?" "Sir," he replied, "I have no one to put me in the pool when the water is disturbed. But while I am moving, someone else is in the pool before me." Jesus answered, "Rise to your feet, take up your bed and walk." The man recovered instantly, took up his stretcher, and began to walk. That day was a Sabbath. So the Jews said to the man who had been cured, "It is the Sabbath. You are not allowed to carry your bed on the Sabbath." He answered, "The man who cured me said, 'Take up your bed and walk.'" They asked him, "Who is the man who told you to take up your bed and walk?" But the cripple who had been cured did not know, for the place was crowded and Jesus had slipped away. A little later, Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, "Now that you are well again, leave your sinful ways, or you may suffer something worse." The man went away and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had cured him. It was works of this kind done on the Sabbath that stirred the Jews to persecute Jesus. He defended himself by saying, "My Father has never yet ceased his work, and I am working too." This made the Jews still more determined to kill him, because he was not only breaking the Sabbath, but, by calling God his own Father, he claimed equality with God. To this charge, Jesus replied, "In truth, in very truth, I tell you, the Son can do nothing by himself. He does only what he sees the Father doing. What the Father does, the Son does, for the Father loves the Son and shows him all his works, and will show greater yet, to fill you with wonder. As the Father raises the dead and gives them life, so the Son gives life to men as he determines. And again, the Father does not judge anyone, but has given full jurisdiction to the Son. It is his will that all should pay the same honor to the Son as to the Father. To deny honor to the Son is to deny it to the Father who sent him. In very truth, anyone who gives heed to what I say and puts his trust in him who sent me has hold of eternal life, and does not come up for judgment, but has already passed from death to life. In truth, in very truth, I tell you, a time is coming, indeed it is already here, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and all who hear shall come to life. For as the Father has life-giving power in himself, so has the Son, by the Father's gift. As Son of Man, he has also been given the right to pass judgment. Do not wonder at this, because the time is coming when all who are in the grave shall hear his voice and come out. Those who have done right will rise to life. Those who have done wrong will rise to hear their doom. I cannot act by myself. I judge as I am bidden, and my sentence is just, because my aim is not my own will, but the will of him who sent me. If I testify on my own behalf, that testimony does not hold good. There is another who bears witness for me, and I know that his testimony holds. Your messengers have been to John. You have his testimony to the truth. Not that I rely on human testimony, but I remind you of it for your own salvation. John was a lamp, burning brightly, and for a time you were ready to exult in his light. But I rely on a testimony higher than John's. There is enough to testify that the Father has sent me in the works my Father gave me to do and to finish, the very works I have in hand. This testimony to me was given by the Father, who sent me, although you never heard his voice or saw his form. But his word has found no home in you, for you do not believe the one whom he sent. You study the scriptures diligently, supposing that in having them you have eternal life. Yet, although their testimony points to me, you refuse to come to me for that life. I do not look to men for honor, but with you it is different, as I know well, for you have no love for God in you. I have come accredited by my Father, and you have no welcome for me. If another comes self-accredited, you will welcome him. How can you have faith so long as you receive honor from one another and care nothing for the honor that comes from him who alone is God? Do not imagine that I shall be your accuser at the Father's tribunal. Your accuser is Moses, the very Moses on whom you have set your hope. If you believed Moses, you would believe what I tell you, for it was about me that he wrote. But if you do not believe what he wrote, how are you to believe what I say? So far, the reading of John chapter 5, the story of this crippled man at the pool of Bethesda being healed by Jesus, which contains this amazing question by Jesus, who asked him, "Do you want to recover?" Which of course is spiritually very interesting and very important, because it points to the fact that some people might be ill or might be in difficult situations for a long, long time, but still not prepared to really recover, to not prepared to being healed, but rather like to remain in their difficult situation. So this is the question for anyone who is in difficult circumstances or has been in difficult circumstances for a long time. And the question is, do you really want to be healed? Because of course healing means also a change in your situation. Healing means living in new circumstances, and that might be not only nice but also uncomfortable. Okay, so this is one of the spiritual dimensions of this text. The simple question, do you want to recover? Which Jesus asked this man who had been ill for 38 years. And then, of course, Jesus heals this man, and then it turns out that it was on a Sabbath, and the Jews, the Jewish leadership at the time, didn't like that at all. And then Jesus starts this long discourse where he justifies his actions in the sense that these are works that he is doing which are in the name of the Father. Jesus identifies himself closely with the Father, and now the opposition of the Jewish leadership against Jesus starts to rise because they don't like this close identification that Jesus says is the truth, namely that he and the Father basically are one. Okay, so, and of course in this long discourse there are many aspects worth thinking about. So I encourage you to read the chapter again on your own, take your time and reflect on the things said in this passage. So I wish you a very good day, and I see you tomorrow. Bye bye.